Welcome, everybody, to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today. And this week ponders the question, what's your favorite scary movie? In the fifth installment of the horror franchise, Scream, hitting store shelves along with the mystery drama thriller, Death on the Nile. And Paramount Pictures is releasing some 4K Steelbook love with the Tom Cruise action movie epic, Jack Reacher, plus much more. So let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we are at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got. All right, everybody, we are in at Walmart, and yes, again, for the second week in a row, let's not call it a comeback yet, but I'm liking where we're going. We got new physical media goodness, baby. And come on, you definitely got to appreciate that. And oh, I definitely do. Let's dive in, shall we, with a little 4K Ultra HD digital love for Scream for $27.96. The Blu-ray digital for $22.96. The DVD for $17.96. They have all of the Scream goodness for your horror pleasure needs. Indeed they do, man. Not half bad. Obviously all the same artwork, nothing really different, but it is pretty cool artwork regardless, so I'll give it a pass. Now, I got a chance to watch this in the movie theaters with John. We are huge horror movie lovers. We are huge Scream lovers. We love the franchise, warts and all. And when they announced a new Scream movie, come on, we had to go and see it. It's not like we were going to pass on it. It's a definite must watch. I like the trailer, but I was a little nervous because I'm like, it's the fifth movie in the franchise and long removed after number 4. Was anybody really asking for another Scream movie exactly? Not really, but, well, regardless of whether we want it or not, it's another franchise, it's another opportunity for a studio to make more money off of a series, so of course they were going to do it eventually, and here we are yet again. Basically, it's a new set of victims and new Ghostface killers and the mystery of why they're bumping all the people off, the patterns, the methods, who's doing the dirty deeds, and who will live and who will die. Yes, indeed, man. Now, I got to admit, as a Scream lover, I've went through the emotions a time or two. Really great moments in the franchise, really low moments. And with Scream, especially the fifth film in the franchise, I didn't quite know what to expect. And honestly, my expectations were met, and that wasn't good, guys. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, it's not terrible, all things considered. I've seen some really bad turkeys in horror franchises. It's not like this is the worst necessarily, but as far as the Scream franchise is concerned, it doesn't do anything clever or really interesting that really makes it worthy of being part of the franchise, so to speak. I mean, it's all tired retreads and things that basically they're just aping off of from previous films, and none of it comes off as really interesting or, oh my god, revelatory. I mean, I suppose maybe a little bit it's revelatory in the fact of like, oh, you know, Billy had a daughter. What the fuck? But even that doesn't really make sense. Like, yeah, I guess he slept around, but I'm like, we're finding out about it now of all things. And it felt like Sydney in the movie kind of knew that too. I'm like, really? Because if you did, why do you decide to deal with the shit now of all things? I mean, what the hell, man? I don't know. I felt the characters were kind of stereotypical. You've seen it done many times before, and not really done very clever here. I mean, obviously you have the jock, and you have the nerd, and you have the cool guy, and they're just all different tropes that are slightly updated to modern times, but not really done in any sort of really clever or unique way that makes it stand out exactly. And bringing back the old school actors, don't get me wrong, I love bringing back the old school actors into a horror franchise. I think it's really great to see them come back, especially for a franchise like this where a lot of them really got famous over the first movie, so it makes a lot of sense. But I gotta admit, they don't do much with the characters here. It kind of felt like they were here just more as props than anything else. I mean, they do more with these returning characters than they did with Laurie Strode in Halloween Kills. I mean, I'll give you that, but not much more, honestly. It kind of felt that they were used more as like, hey, remember them? Yeah. Because it's Scream, we gotta show off Sydney and Gail and Dewey, because if we didn't, you'd kill us. But honestly, we're not really focusing on them so much, which kind of pissed me off, because the new characters really are not all that really interesting to me, outside of maybe one. But again, the backstory to me doesn't exactly make any sense, really. And then seeing her dead father, which she didn't even really know her father, so why would she be seeing him exactly? I'm not sure. That felt really forced and not really needed at all. Kind of useless, I'd say. I don't know, maybe it was like a red herring of like, oh, she might be the killer, but you knew she wasn't going to be the killer, guys. If you've seen these type of horror movies over and over and over again, you know where it's going at the end of the day. It's a fake out, and not a really good, clever one at that, to be honest with you. I mean, even when the killers are revealed and there's that big whole like motivation thing of like, oh, this is why we did it, it comes off as really lame and useless. And it's like, wait a minute, that's the reason why? That? It kind of felt like, it was like, okay, God, that's probably one of the worst reasons I've seen yet. I mean, I guess if you're going to do anything, I guess maybe reinventing a horror franchise because sequels have been lame, I guess is a good enough reason as any. I mean, he's talking about lame motivations, dude. I mean, then again, do killers really have to have major motivations anymore to kill people? Not really, especially in the times we're living in, folks. But, I mean, to be honest with you, I just didn't really care for this movie. I felt it was predictable. The characters were kind of lame. Some were absolutely useless. And it felt like they were aping off of better moments in the franchise in earlier films. It sucks because I love the Scream franchise. It's not completely useless. There are moments where I kind of liked it. Some of the kills were okay, but not really all that clever either. It's just a damn shame overall, man. I mean, I like the Scream franchise. I want it to succeed. But this one, honestly, as far as scary movies go, especially in franchises, not that scary. And who's up for a little death? On the Nile. Yeah. The Blu-ray digital for $24.96, a DVD for $19.96. My God, Death on the Nile is already out on physical. That is wicked fast, man. Like, this literally was in theaters, like, a month or so ago, and now it's on physical. That's fucking crazy, man. Some of these releases are coming out lightning fast now. Death on the Nile is yet another one of them. Yes, but Hercule Poirot is back to solve another crime. I'm digging it in a big bad way, man. Now, Bob and I went to go see this in the movie theater, and we really wanted to see it. I mean, big time, because we loved Murder on the Orient Express. We loved that remake. We thought it was really clever and interesting, and we loved the characters and the situations. We thought it was phenomenal. And so when we heard that they were planning on doing a sequel with the Poirot character, we're like, oh man, we're definitely gonna be there. And so, well, we decided, what the hell, we gotta check this thing out. Now, mind you, it was supposed to come out a little while back, but because of COVID-19, yes, that sumbitch, yet again, ruins movie release dates one damn time after another. We had to wait for Death on the Nile, but it finally came to theaters, and I finally checked it out, and I was definitely wanting to in a big bad way. Basically, it's about this couple that's getting married, and there's a murder that happens while they're getting ready to get married. They're throwing this big lavish party with friends and family, and somebody gets killed, and it's up to Hercule Poirot to solve the murder. Oh, and all the twists and turns that follow, man. You know, I honestly really like this movie. I know there's some people out there that think that this movie is kind of mundane and predictable, and yes, it is very predictable. You can see the killers coming a mile away. You know who it's going to be, okay? They kind of telegraph it a little bit early on in the film, so in that way it's kind of a bummer, but I love the characters, I love the dialogue, I love the interactions with them, and I think the actors here are really phenomenal. I think they're doing a fantastic job here. Armie Hammer's really good here. Gal Gadot's great. I love Emma Mackey. Oh my God, Emma Mackey is friggin' gorgeous. Are you kidding me? She's phenomenal in this thing. I love it. Kenneth Branagh, dude, come on. Kenneth Branagh always brings it in a big bad way. Letitia Wright is really fantastic here as well. Hell, Russell Brand, my God, man. Usually Russell Brand is annoying as hell. Here, he was really good. I'm like, my God, this is like the first movie that I've actually really loved him. I'm like, he's not like being completely annoying. Damn, Kenneth Branagh is a good director. Like, shit, if you can get that performance out of Russell Brand, dude, you're a rock star, bro. I mean, seriously. I really love the costumes. I love the set dressing, the settings themselves. It's gorgeous and it's haunting and it's creepy when it needs to be, very lavish. I love this movie a lot, man. I mean, yes, there is better murder mysteries out there. Yes, there's ones that really shock you. This movie doesn't really shock you at all. It doesn't have a very shocking ending the way that maybe Murder on the Orient Express did, or Knives Out or something, but I still think it's a really good adaptation. Yes, it's another remake. There's been a lot of Agatha Christie novels that have been made into movies. This is another one of those remakes. The original is really great as well, but I do really dig this one a lot. I think it's really fantastic, and I just love Kenneth Branagh playing the role, and I love him directing these movies, and I think they're fun entertainment, and I really dig what they're trying to go for here. It's not perfect. It has warts to it. You can see the twists and turns coming a mile away, and sometimes the red herrings don't really work because everything's kind of mapped out to you already. But that being said, the acting here is absolutely amazing. I love the look of the film, the sets, and I just feel like this is a pretty solid murder mystery overall, man. Not perfect, but it definitely does the deed, and it does the deed pretty damn well, actually. Maybe not the best, but it does the trick. I definitely dug this one, man. And come on, can you really deny the stash? Come on. That's a pretty goddamn cool stash, dude. It really is. And he wears it so goddamn well. It's a great detective story, maybe a little watered down and predictable, but as long as it had the entertainment value, and it definitely did, I definitely dug this one in a big bad way. I really did, man. It was fun. What can I tell you? They don't all have to be perfect. They just have to be entertaining, and this one absolutely was. Not bad, man, and not bad for Walmart. I mean, only 2 things, but the fact that they have the new release love, oh, that's good enough for me. Not bad at all. Let's head out. Well, look who delivered yet again. Honestly, they should already be putting out the physical media anyways, but the fact that I have to praise them for doing it 2 weeks in a row, well, I have to give them a little bit of encouragement, guys. It's like a dog, right? When they do good tricks, you have to give them treats. So I have to end up, giving them encouragement every time so they can keep on putting out the media over and over and over again. Good deeds will get you good praise. Just saying. I'm glad to see that they put out the physical media love. I mean, it is 2 big releases this week, so they ought to, because if they didn't, man, that would have been a real bummer, you know what I'm saying? But thankfully, they definitely did their due diligence on physical media, and I can definitely dig it in a big bad way. No exclusives or anything, but hey, new physical media is alright by me. Oh, and I bet it is for you as well. Not half bad, not a lot of love, but just enough to keep me going, and I definitely appreciate it. Hope you do too. But how about we check out more physical media at more stores? Alright, everybody, we are at our second location, Target. But before I go in, I gotta talk to you guys about something. And, look, actors have very hard times from moment to moment, and sometimes you don't really know what's going on with them until it's too late, and this is another one of those. And from CNN, Bruce Willis stepping away from acting because of health condition. Let's dive in, shall we? Bruce Willis is suffering from a medical condition that is affecting his cognitive abilities and will be taking a break from acting, his family shared on Wednesday. In a post of his daughter Rumor Willis's verified Instagram account, the caption on a photo of the diehard actor read, "To Bruce's amazing supporters, as a family, we wanted to share that our beloved Bruce has been experiencing some health issues and has recently been diagnosed with aphasia, which is impacting his cognitive abilities. As a result of this, and with much consideration, Bruce is stepping away from the career that has meant so much to him. This is a really challenging time for our family, and we are so appreciative of your continued love, compassion, and support." According to the Mayo Clinic, aphasia is a condition that robs you of the ability to communicate and can be caused by a stroke, head injury, a brain tumor, or a disease. The caption went on to read that the family is moving through this as a strong family unit and wanted to bring his fans in because we know how much he means to you as you do to him. As Bruce always says, live it up, and together we plan to do just that. It concluded along with the names of his former wife, Demi Moore, and their daughters, Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah, as well as his current wife, Emma, and their daughters, Mabel and Eveline. Man, that's a real bummer. And honestly, look, I've ragged on Bruce Willis a lot, all right? I really have. And now there is a part of me that I feel a little bad about doing that. I mean, look, I'm going to be real with you guys. Those movies, they're terrible, all right? I'm not going to say that those movies are having a new reappreciation because Bruce Willis has aphasia, okay? I'm not going to do that. Those movies are terrible. And he's not good in them, and that's the truth. But now I understand what he was trying to do. He was trying to get as much roles as he can, make enough money before he sort of headed out the door. And I understand why. And also the fact of having aphasia and the idea of not having your memory and losing the cognitive ability of speech and understanding, like, that's a really big thing for somebody to go through. And the idea of, as an actor, trying to remember your lines and being on the set and actually having your wits about you, that is not easy to do. And there's been some directors who have done some of the recent Bruce Willis films that have come out and said, look, they were worried for Bruce Willis on the set, and they voiced their concerns, and Bruce's agent was like, you know, yeah, he's fine, don't worry about it. I mean, even another director who ended up wanting to work with Bruce again called the agent and said, is he better? And Bruce's agent is like, oh yeah, he's fine, don't worry about it. And Bruce gets on set and he's like, oh my God, he's even worse. And it's like, Bruce can't do this anymore, dude. And so a lot of these people have had to reduce Bruce's lines on set and simplify it to the most basic thing in order for him to really get through and do it. And it is sad. It's just really honestly sad that Bruce Willis goes through this because, yes, I've heard the rumors of Bruce Willis being difficult and him being an asshole to people. We all have those moments, okay? We all do. Let's be real here. You could be the nicest person in the world and still be an asshole at times, okay? It's just the honest truth. That doesn't mean that he deserves this. He doesn't, man. He's a wonderful actor, and I love him from so many roles. And it's just sad to see a man like this dealing with this issue and the fact that it's probably going to consume him. And that's really heartbreaking. That really honestly is, man. And I know that there's other straight to DVD and Blu-ray films that are going to come out from Bruce Willis in the next year or so. I get it. I'm going to watch them. I'm going to still judge the movies honestly with you guys, but I'm going to give Bruce Willis a little bit of a break because he deserves it, okay? I get it. He was suffering from a disease, and a really debilitating one, and one that really takes away you as a human being, and that is really crushing. And so the movies are bad, but I'm going to give Bruce a pass. And I understand why. I mean, the Razzies have went out of their way to, rescind the awards, and a lot of people have been like, okay, look, I get it, right? Bruce is a phenomenal actor, and for him to go out like this is a damn shame, but I'm glad that the family is recognizing it. I'm glad that they're dealing with it, and they're not just continuing to exploit him for the sake of exploiting him. The fact that they're finally saying, look, we're walking away. Maybe they should have done it a little sooner, maybe, but I'm glad that they're at least doing it now. So, I'm not going to remember the shitty Bruce Willis movies, okay? I'm not going to remember these dog movies that he did recently, okay? I'm remembering the old school stuff. I'm remembering the Die Hards and the Death Becomes Her and all the other great stuff. Moonlighting, you name it. He's a phenomenal actor. And movies like Sixth Sense, which is amazing, Unbreakable, those are going to last a lifetime. These new movies will not, but the older ones definitely will. And Bruce Willis has left his mark on cinema in a big, bad way. And there is definitely no denying that, man. So this is sad. This is heartbreaking. And I just feel for Bruce Willis and his family. And I hope that in some ways he's able to overcome this and get his life back together. I really hope so, man. So good luck to Bruce Willis. He's an amazing actor, and I'm gonna miss him. I really honestly am, dude. I wonder what you think about this. Definitely let me know. We see a lot of these actors deal with really tough times, and unfortunately, this is one of the times where I kind of feel like it's better that he walks away now. I really do, and I'm glad he did, man. Keep your integrity, really. Some actors don't do that. Bruce was smart, and he did it before it was too late, and I really do appreciate that. I wonder what you guys think about this. Definitely let me know, man. It is sad, it is heartbreaking, but no one deserves that. No one definitely deserves that. Just saying, man. Let me know what you guys think about that. As far as physical media love, well, there is. Walmart kind of showed it, but what will we get over at Target? Well, I guess we're just going to have to go in and find out. All right, everybody. We are in at Target, and physical media love we want, and physical media love we get. The new release goodness yet again at good old Target. I'm always digging it. Let's dive right in with the Blu-ray digital of Scream for $22.99, a DVD for $17.99, and hell, we even have a little Scream 2 movie collection goodness with Scream and Scream. Scream and Scream. Scream? No, not the same movie. Scream 5. I hate that when they do that, man. They call the updated installment the same as they did the original. Why do they do that exactly? What's the deal with that? It's the same thing with Halloween 2018. Now we got to differentiate it with different years because they did the same thing. Well, it's either the Halloween from 78, the Halloween from 2018, or Rob Zombie's Halloween. Ay, man. Can we come up with some original shit, man? Or just call it Scream 5. Seriously, man. What's wrong with calling it Scream 5? There's nothing wrong with it. They just want to rebrand it and make it hipper. That's what it is. My bad. I'm a boomer, guys. Jeez. They do have that double feature love of number 1 and then number 5. Interesting double feature to have. Skip 2, 3, and 4, but sure, why the hell not? And speaking of the Scream franchise, let's talk about that, shall we? Because the Scream franchise is very unique and very interesting. Because the first movie, the iconic first movie, the classic first movie, 1996. It came out during a time when horror was really in a very low point. I'm not saying that there wasn't anything good that was coming out in cinemas as far as horror is concerned. There definitely was, but it felt very tired. It felt very weak, that the concepts, unfortunately, weren't really grasping a lot of people, and it felt like a lot of the creativity from the 80s just wasn't really in the 90s. And then Scream came along, and it changed the game in a big, bad way, referential, and really taking the rules of horror and twisting them around. I like that. I really did, man. And I thought it was unique and fascinating and a new spin. And of course, it reinvented the genre. And so many movies came off of the success of Scream, whether we're talking about Valentine or Urban Legend, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Those movies, let's be real, they wouldn't exist without Scream. And so it's still to this day The horror is being felt from the success of Scream in a big bad way. But of course, once you have a movie that is so successful, made so much money, Hollywood comes calling for a sequel, don't it? Indeed, it does with Scream 2. And I actually really love Scream 2. Yeah, it tries to ape off of the first film, plus maybe have a few tricks in its bag that you didn't see coming. It maybe is a little bit of a copycat in a certain way, a lesser film than the first movie, but I still think it's a really solid film, man. I love the killers. I love the motivation, the story, the evolution of Sydney. I think it's a really solid film, man. I think it's pretty damn good, all things considered. And then, well, once Scream 2 was successful, well, don't you know it? You do need that trilogy. You do with Scream 3. And, honestly, out of all of them, I think Scream 3 gets shit on the most, and in my opinion, unfairly so. I'm not saying that it's a great horror movie, and it's definitely one of the weaker Scream entries, but I actually really enjoy it. I like more of the evolution of Sydney and the trauma that she's went through, the backstory with her mother and her family, the killer's motivation that ends up bringing it full circle to the first film. I think it's a nice, really great and solid trilogy capper. Not perfect, some of the goofy comedy, and let's be real, Courtney Cox's bangs, man, that didn't do her any favors. Okay? That hairstyle did not look good on her. But that being said, I think it's still a really solid film with really interesting characters and a good evolution of a trilogy. I thought it worked out really well. So here I thought, okay, Scream 3, trilogy, done, over with. Well, when you make a decent amount of money, eventually Hollywood comes calling yet again with Scream 4. Man, I honestly rewatched Scream 4 not too long ago, and I actually really dig it. It's not a bad movie. The first time I watched it, I was like, what's really the point of this film? But I like the idea of going back to your roots and the sins of the past coming back to haunt you. I like that idea. I think it's pretty solid. It's not as memorable with the characters or the plot, and even the killer's motivation is kind of lacking, all things considered. But I do like Emma Roberts here, and I like the crew coming back, and I really dug the fact that Wes Craven came back yet again. And I gotta give Wes Craven a lot of love here, because Wes Craven is a master of horror cinema. He truly was. And it's not just Scream, it's Nightmare on Elm Street, and it's Last House on the Left, and Hills Have Eyes. And he's such an amazing director that really knows how to tell a really great story with tense and scary moments to it. And he was perfectly made for Scream, for the franchise. He really was. And yes, there was some ups and downs, and yes, it wasn't perfect, and yes, some of the storytelling efforts could have been a wee bit better, but I think overall it worked, man. And after Scream 4, I thought maybe we would have gotten to Scream 5 with him, but then, well, that didn't exactly happen. Scream 4 made a decent amount of money, but didn't exactly light the world on fire either, to be honest. And when Wes Craven passed away, I kind of felt like we should have just let the franchise go, right? This was his franchise. He had directed all of the movies. He had really invested his time and effort into making these movies as great as they possibly could be. And it's not like the other films were directed by other people. He was the one that was shepherding this thing through and through. And so when he died, I just felt there was no need to bring back the franchise. But again, we continue to bring back these franchises over and over again. Halloween, Candyman, franchises never truly die, folks. Let's be real here. They never really die anymore, man. And so, yeah, we get another one. And I like the directors here. They directed a really great horror film recently, and that was Ready or Not. I love Ready or Not. That's an awesome horror flick. It's really brutal, it's bloody, it's clever. I really dug that one a lot. And so when I heard they were doing this movie, I thought, oh, okay, I kind of like them as directors, and I think they did some good projects. So I'm curious to see what they're going to bring to the table with Scream, and it just kind of felt like been there, done that. They more come across as fanboys than they do want to actually reinvent anything here. And that's really the problem ultimately. And I think it's lacking. I just really do, man. Unfortunately, I just don't think it really has anything clever to say as much as the other films do, and I just don't think it has that same sense of dread or twists and turns like how Craven did it. And I mean, as good as these directors are, they're just not Wes Craven, man. And when you see this movie, you really go back and you watch the other Scream movies, even warts and all, they are far superior than this movie will ever be, man. And that's due to Wes Craven. He's just that damn good. He really honestly is, man. And watching this movie really proves that in Wes Craven's hands, the Scream franchise really flourished. In other people's hands, well, you're lucky if you get to second base. I'm just saying, man. It's got an interesting idea about requels, apparently. Apparently, there's like this thing of requels where you don't want to reboot it completely. You don't want to do a straight up sequel. You do a reboot, reinventing it, but bringing back the old actors because, then you can actually kind of pay homage to the old stuff, but yet ended up making it new at the same time. Wow, great. So now there's like reimaginings and remakes and regurgitations, and oh, great, now we have requels too. Oh my lord, man. When is Hollywood ever gonna end? Seriously. Look, man, it's not the worst thing in the world, but as far as the Scream franchise is concerned, it's really missing Wes Craven. And let me tell you something, man. Wes and Scream was like peanut butter and jelly. Perfect in every aspect. And honestly, without it, it just doesn't feel the same. When contemplating murder, make sure that Hercule Poirot isn't on the case, because he will solve the crime in Death on the Nile. The Blu-ray digital for $24.99, the DVD for $19.99. Oh yes, a little more murder mystery goodness, shall we? Definitely, man. And I want to talk about Kenneth Branagh. Now, Kenneth Branagh is an amazing actor, right? And yes, also a phenomenal director. When I talked about Belfast, I talked about some of his other projects that he's done as a director, and he's amazing. Just a really great, to me, underrated director, but also a really great, in some ways, actually underrated actor. I mean, he is solid in practically everything he does, and he's actually more of a Shakespearean actor than anything else. I mean, he's done Hamlet, Othello, Much Ado About Nothing, Henry V. He is a very accomplished actor and really loves Shakespearean lore and does a lot of those movies. Hell, even directing Thor, he brought in a lot of Shakespearean themes as well. A lot of Greek mythology. He's definitely one of those actors that definitely dives into that, and he's very good at that. But I do think he's honestly just as good outside of the Shakespearean stuff as he is actually doing the more regal films, the more thespian actor stuff. I mean, like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Yes. Oh, that is such a good movie, guys. I really love that flick. I actually think it's vastly underrated. He is so good as Victor Frankenstein, and Robert De Niro playing the monster. Oh, absolutely fantastic. It's a really good adaptation of Frankenstein's monster. Doesn't nearly get as much love as it honestly should. He's really fantastic in it. Also, he's really good in this really great Woody Allen film called Celebrity. It's honestly a movie that not many people know about. It's one of the lesser Woody Allen flicks, but it's actually pretty good. It's shot in black and white. It has Leonardo DiCaprio in it, a bunch of high-profile actors, but it's kind of been forgotten, actually, but it's actually really decent. I actually really dig that one a lot. Actually, probably one of my more favorite Woody Allen flicks. I really do dig that one, man. Then again, it's not all roses because Wild Wild West. Okay, truth be told, Wild Wild West isn't 100% terrible, alright? It does have some things going for it. Kenneth Branagh is definitely one of them. He's good in it. He's definitely cheesing it up in the best way possible. He definitely is loving his villainous role. He's good at it, I ain't gonna lie, man. He's really solid. Kevin Kline's great in it. I mean, that's only two. Well, if you count Selma Hayek's ass, then yeah, that's three. But it's not that great of a movie, all things considered. But he is one of the bright spots in it, to be fair. He really honestly is, dude. He's not bad. But he does play a really good villain at times. I mean, Tenet, he was really solid in Tenet, man. I thought he was fucking awesome in it, dude. He was really seedy and slimy and evil. I thought that he did a great job in that movie, dude. I mean, the movie is kind of a little bit of a clusterfuck at times, but he is really amazing and awesome in it. And I heard he's actually going to be in the next Nolan film, Oppenheimer, I believe it is, which I'm really looking forward to that one. That one, with the cast that they have going for that one, that could be really cool, man. So he's really great and a really great actor. He just doesn't get the major high-profile roles, but he's just as solid as any big-name actor out there. He's really that damn good. And as Hercule Poirot, he's fucking phenomenal, dude. I mean, mind you, he's not the only actor to ever play the role. Such accomplished actors as David Suchet, Peter Ustinov, Ian Holm, Albert Finney, Tony Randall. Oh my god, man, there's so many of them. How John Malkovich actually played Hercule Poirot. Swear to god, man, it was like this one season miniseries thing back in like 2018. Swear to god, man, look that shit up. There's been a lot of great actors that have played the role, and some do it better than others. The old school classics never go out of style, but Kenneth Branagh, he's up there. Come on, man, he plays a great Poirot, and let's hope that this isn't the end of the line for him, because I want to see him play the role for many, many years to come. Now, what in the hell is this? Bluey? Seasons 1 and 2, 103 episodes. Holy shit. The DVD for $19.99. I have never heard of this. Should I have? I mean, it's only at Target. It comes with a sticker pack. Yeah. You know how those kids love their sticker packs, don't you? Oh, it's seen on Disney Plus, really. Lovable, inexhaustible little 6-year-old blue heeler dog with her mom, dad, and her 4-year-old little sister, Bingo. Huh. Okay, yeah, this is more of a kid's thing. This is definitely not my bag, baby. It definitely isn't. Hey, I'm sure kids will love it. Not my thing, at least not yet. Maybe when I have kids, Bluey will be my thing, but until then, probably not. However, Handmaid's Tale might be my thing. Season 4, wow. Man, season 4 already, huh? A DVD for $16.99. You know, I have never seen a single episode of The Handmaid's Tale. I know you guys are gonna sit there and blast me. You're like, it's amazing, it's fantastic, it's thrilling, why haven't you watched it yet? Seriously, man, I have a lot of shit to watch. I'm not even gonna lie, man. It's gonna take me decades to even keep up with everything I gotta watch, man. Holy shit. So, not gonna lie, Handmaid's Tale has been on the back burner for some time, but I know my girlfriend is really interested in watching this. She really loves the books, and she loves the story, and she really wants to dive into it, so maybe I might watch it with my girlfriend over time. One of those series that we'll watch together, I think. And hey, if you're gonna watch it with anybody, might as well be your girlfriend, right? Might as well. She can school you on all the story points. Hey, that ain't half bad, man. I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? But this, from what I know, from what people have told me, is an absolutely phenomenal story. Impressive acting, on the edge of your seat, wondering what's going to happen next. Really great appointment television. And I can't blame them. I mean, the story's intriguing. I like the idea of this sort of future where women are subjugated, and there's a whole reason behind it, and the idea that these women are trying to rise up in this oppressive society. It's quite fascinating, actually, and one of these days I definitely have to dive into it. One of these days, whenever I get the chance, man. But I don't really hear many people talking about The Handmaid's Tale anymore like they used to. I remember like season 1 and 2 came out, everybody was talking about it, even like season 3, but I don't think many people have really talked about season 4 or not. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it still worthy of The Handmaid's Tale legacy? You'll definitely have to let me know. And is it worth it for me to dive into it? That's the even more important question. Definitely let me know about that, man. But I've heard only good things, so I'm gonna trust the people I know. Maybe. Maybe indeed, but very intriguing indeed. Maybe one of these days I will definitely have to dive into it. That is for damn sure. But hey, look at the physical media love. Not half bad, not crazy plentiful, but hey, it does the trick. Not bad at all. Let's head out. And the physical media just keeps on rolling, baby. Yes, I knew Target was going to have physical media love. Hell, they always have physical media goodness. So, you knew what to expect from Target. I'm glad that they have all the new release goodies and a couple things we haven't seen yet. Not half bad after all, man. That is, by the way, 2 for 2. That's pretty damn impressive, dare I say. Some weeks, well, we're 1 for 2. Hey, we're already off to a good start, man. And Target always supplies physical media goodness, and I always appreciate it. Definitely, indeed, I do, man. And I know you do as well. But hell, we saw the physical media love here. Let's hope there's more physical media love to explore. All right, everybody. We are at our third location, the second Walmart. I'm going to go in and check out if there's any interesting movies worth showing off. If there is, I'll bring it back to FilmFan108H2 and show it off to each and every one of you. But before I do that, I got to talk about a trailer with you guys. And man, this intrigues me like a motherfucker. I don't know what the hell is going on in this thing, but man, when it comes to A24, man, you just got to go with the ride. In Men, hitting very soon on the movie screen near you. And, you know, let me tell you something. A24, man, they do some really messed up movies. Don't they? Oh my God, man. They're like known for messed up movies, dude. Like mysterious, weird shit going on. That's pretty much A24 for you. And this one is yet another in the long line of them. From the trailer, I'm getting the idea that this woman, obviously her husband has killed himself and she's on this sort of vacation all alone. And she's in this English countryside and everybody's acting kind of bizarre. A little out of the ordinary. Is it in her mind? Is it really happening? And at the same time, like, all these people are, like, stalking her and going after her. And again, is it some weird cultish thing? Are they trying to, like, do some demonic entity shit? Or again, is it just all in her head, her psyche? Who the hell knows what's going on in this goddamn thing, but it looks really intriguing, it looks mysterious, it looks creepy, and I'm intrigued by it, I'm not gonna lie, man. And the fact that it's directed by Alex Garland also really has me intrigued as well. I mean, this is the same guy, mind you, that did Ex Machina, which I fucking love, and also Annihilation, which is amazing. This guy does some really unique and interesting movies and always has a cool little twist, always a very unique angle on the certain type of genre that he's doing. And I'm very curious to see where he goes with this. He's one of the better, newer, unique filmmakers out there that has a very interesting filmmaking style and voice that I am 100% on board with. I really am, man. The fact that it's also A24, the fact that it could be like a Rosemary's Baby situation. I don't know, man. Like Wicker Man, who the fuck knows what this is, dude? All I know is that it's really intriguing and this woman is either really being stalked and really being threatened or, man, she is out of her goddamn gourd. Seriously, I don't know what the hell's going on, man. But the acting looks intriguing, the story, the characters, the mystery to it. It kind of feels almost like Hereditary-like, which I really love Hereditary. So if it's anything like that, I'm definitely on board. Dude, good, bad, whatever you really think about A24, you at least have to say, man, that it's never really boring, and you're always just like wondering what the fuck is happening. And this is yet another one in that long line. Let's hope it's good though, because it has the potential, but guess we'll have to wait and see. Definitely let me know what you think about that. In the meantime, how about we go into the second Walmart and hopefully some goodies worth showing off. All right, everybody, we are at our lovely second Walmart, and it's been pretty decent for physical media love, hasn't it? Both of the stores have had some good stuff we're showing off, all the new release goodness, so now we're betting on Walmart to have some of that indie weirdness love. Do they just supply it this week? I mean, since we've gotten physical media at every other place, why not here? And you'd be right. Oh, yes, we have it yet again, baby. All that weird, horror, ridiculous B-movie cheese. Don't mind if I do. Oh, yes, we have it in plenty supply. Oh, and I cannot wait to show it off, so you know what that means. We're heading back to Film Fan 108 HQ, where you sat. Yes, you to show off all the physical media love. Oh, it's gonna be good. What the hell is going on?
Do you like scary movies?
You're talking to me?
Well, yeah, I am talking about you. Who the hell else would I be talking to? Speaking of which, what the hell is your favorite scary movie?
Twilight. I'm not kidding. Seriously. Robert Pattinson is so pale, I thought he was dead.
What? You fucking kidding me? Wrong answer.
Come on, don't kill me. No, what do you want me to say? New Moon, Breaking Dawn Part 1, Breaking Dawn Part 2? Please don't give me up, please. Oh, I can't kill ya. Would be a waste of a good death. Hardy har har, very funny. I might have deserved it. No, I didn't deserve it, you bastard. Ah, come on, you definitely deserved it. And be thankful I'm not doing much worse to your ass. I mean, Twilight? Really? Okay, maybe I could have came up with some better movie to say was my favorite scary movie, but, I mean, seriously, those did scare the living hell out of me. And I also could have said Space Jam: A New Legacy too, but you get the hint. Yeah, hey, look, I have a lot of great scary movies that I love, okay? Amazing. Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. I mean, seriously, Hellraiser, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. I mean, it's really hard to pick your favorite scary movie, isn't it? It really honestly is. It's just too damn hard to pick. I like to see you do it. In fact, what am I talking about? I like to see you show off the physical media love. After you're done scaring my ass, honestly, how about you actually scare up the physical media? That would definitely be a horrifying show. Oh, I'll give you one hell of a horror show. Just you wait, damn it. Oh. Don't tempt me. Oh, don't tempt me indeed, man. And some of my favorite horror movies, scary ones, I mean, God, you left out a few of them. I mean, Halloween, Child's Play, Poltergeist, Jaws. Oh, there's quite a lot of horror out there in the world to be terrified of. You bet your ass there is. Oh, indeed it is. Maybe one day we'll create a horror movie of our own. Just you wait. But until that day happens, I guess you'll live to see yet another physical media day for the moment. But don't count on many more. Oh, don't count on indeed when I'm stalking your ass. Ah, yes. But I suppose enough of stalking and messing with you. Time for the physical media goodness. Damn shame. But hey, come on. Physical media can be just as scary. Trust me. I've seen a lot of it, folks. I have indeed. And this week has been plentiful. We've seen some good stuff at the store so far. And, well, when it comes to scariness, well, the second Walmart happens to provide a lot of it from time to time. And this week, well, it's no exception. Well, who's up for a little Walmart horror weirdness, shall we? I know I am, and hopefully you are as well. How about we dive into the madness, shall we? With a little Vacation, die, repeat. 6:45 a.m. Motherfucker, if I was on vacation, I'd be sleeping at 6:45 a.m. My ass would not be getting up anytime soon. Okay? Fuck that shit. Oh my god. Me getting up at that time on a vacation? Dude, that is horror. Holy shit. Oh, little fucked up hand. What the hell is this exactly? Unsettling, haunting? Huh. A couple embarks on a weekend getaway only to find the island curiously deserted. After stumbling upon the town's dark secret, they trigger a time loop. Really? Forcing them to relive a demented cycle of terror with seemingly no means of escape. Oh, yes, the same day repeated over and over and frickin' over again. Of course. You can never escape the bad vacations. Why is that, damn it? God, the good ones always go by so quick, and the bad ones tend to be repeated ad nauseum. Son of a bitch. Oh, man. You know, I like the idea and the premise behind this, and the idea of reliving the same day over and over and over to endless degrees, and the idea that horror is one of those great genres where you can really explore that in great ways, gruesome ways. And this is a great idea. Not exactly the most original idea because it has been done before, with a little horror goodness and a little bit of tongue-in-cheek action. Yes, of course, you know what I'm talking about, guys. Absolutely one of the best horror comedies in recent years, and that is the Happy Death Day series. Happy Death Day, and Happy Death Day to you. I love these movies, man. They are fantastic. Funny as hell. I love the creativity of the kills, the characters. I think it's fun. I think they're really, really fun films, man. I mean, yeah, they're PG-13, and yeah, you can't be as gruesome with it as maybe you might want to be, but I still think they're really fun, inventive, entertaining as hell. I really love these ones a lot, man. Great, great surprise for me in the theater watching them. I thought they were really fantastic. I kind of heard they might do a third one. Well, these ones haven't exactly light the world on fire when they were released. I'd like to see a third one. They have an idea for it. I've had fun with these, and I would definitely be interested in seeing a third one. But those are really fantastic, man. Of course, I mean, it's also used in just straight up comedy stuff like Groundhog's Day, which is absolutely amazing as well. And I do know that the X-Files ended up doing like an episode or two of that as well, where they were reliving the same moment over and over and over again. So it's been an idea that has been used a lot to varying degrees. Some are better than others, but I like the idea behind it. It just depends how they do it. I mean, if you do a straight up horror thing like that, I have a feeling it could be cool, but yet it would kind of run its course after a while. You gotta do something kind of unique and interesting with it to kind of keep your interest. You can't just keep doing the same horrific day over and over again. You gotta spice it up a little bit. And that's why I like the Happy Death Day movies as much as I do. This is an interesting idea. As long as the couple is interesting, you care for them, the situations are terrifying, and you don't feel like you're just repeating the same thing over and over again, there's something new and interesting in it, then maybe it might be cool. Maybe. I don't know. It's an interesting thought to try to do that. A straight up horror film like that. Could it work? Yes. It's been done before. But not every attempt will be successful. Where does 6:45 a.m. go? Well, let's just put it this way. Would I want to watch this on a loop over and over and over again? Well, I've relived worse. Never trust a man who hasn't been thawed yet. Especially if he's got a demonic entity inside him in the ice demon. The chill of evil comes home. Oh, yes. Look at all that ice demon goodness. Oh, the shards of ice. It's a goddamn shame you don't see it in the fucking movie. Yeah. Experience the cold sting of terror unleashed. Only I fucking wish. Yeah, I saw this on Amazon Prime, guys, and I'm gonna be honest with you. This needs to be frozen in ice forever. And nobody see this goddamn thing. I mean, look, it's not exactly terrible. Basically, it's about this mother and daughter, and their husband has been gone for a really long time, over 10 years. He finally resurfaces. Honestly, he was out in the cold mountains area, and he has been lost forever. They thought he was dead, and he comes back, and he's been in a coma. He's frozen. He shouldn't have even survived. And they're taking care of him, and they realize that he should technically have really been dead. Why is he still alive exactly? Well, maybe he has an evil inside him, perhaps? Yeah, and all of the demonic, twisted manipulation that goes from there. Can they really trust him? Or is he out to do evil? Well, spoiler alert, he's out to do evil, folks. I don't give a fuck, man. I'll spoil the shit out of this thing. Look, I'm gonna be real here, man. The movie's an hour and a half, right? And usually a horror movie that's an hour and a half flies by, right? No, not this movie, dude. I'm dead serious. Like about 45, 50 minutes in, I literally was thinking to myself, man, it feels like it's been way over an hour and a half. And no, it's literally not even been an hour yet. And I'm so bored out of my fucking skull. I'm not even gonna lie to you, dude. The problem is, it's more of a family drama than it is a horror movie. I mean, you get some horror elements, flickering lights, seeing imagery around you, manipulating somebody to knife you in the back. And we've seen that before, like something like The Shining or shit. I mean, what does this bring to the table that doesn't already ape off of better shit? Well, honestly, not much. And the bitch of it is, you don't even see a goddamn thing. This image on the cover here, guys, spoiler alert, you don't see it in the fucking movie. I'm not gonna lie. In fact, you never see the demon. It's just the husband, father, who's literally in a coma, and there's some weird trickery that he's doing while he's in a coma, and that's it. There's not much to this fucking movie. There's flashbacks of what happened to the father, the dilemma with the mother, and maybe like this chick that has a jealous boyfriend that is like bad stalker vibes all over the place. Other than that, the movie's a bore. It's a big old fucking bore, man. And damn, I was just waiting for something interesting to happen. Even at the end, I was like, oh, is there going to be a cool little thing where we see the demon pop up or something? No, man, you don't even see that shit. You don't even know what the fuck happened to this guy. You know there's an evil inside of him, but you never see it in the opening of the movie. You never see it throughout the film. He's just kind of like writhing in bed like, oh, oh. He's just kind of like, going through the motions and like something possessing him, but you don't know what the fuck it is. And they don't explain shit to save their fucking lives. And it's not scary. It's not intense. You don't get any thrills to it. It's just fucking mundane. There's barely any horror in this motherfucker. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Scream Factory in a big bad way. I truly do. But a lot of these newer movies that Scream Factory is putting out, like the ones they did for IFC Midnight and whatever, some of them are good, but a lot of them are just kind of like straight up trash. And they're just putting them out for the sake of putting them out to make a quick buck. And honestly, The Ice Demon is another one of those. I'm telling you guys, do not be fooled by this fucking movie. Do not be fooled by that image. Yeah, it's cool. Shards of glass coming out of the guy's face and everything, screaming with his glowing eyes. That's really fucking cool. But honestly, this image lies because you never see it in the fucking movie ever. Don't be fooled by this movie. Think twice, because if you watch this movie, I can't guarantee your time back. I can't guarantee your sanity back. You're just going to be pissed. And hey, I told you so. Now, if I saw this guy in a dark alley, I'd try to play dead. It probably wouldn't work. It probably wouldn't, but damn would I try my hardest on the third day. Hail is coming. And if he has any say in it, you bet your ass it's gonna come faster than you can ever imagine. Oh yeah, baby. Oh man. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I wanted to because it looked intriguing. Because of that cover. What the hell is that fucking thing? And so I'm like, okay, let me give this thing a try, right? Basically, it's about this woman. She's getting away with her little child, and she gets into a car accident. Cut to a few days later, she's wandering around. She goes to the hospital. She has no idea where her kid is. She has no idea what happened. And it's basically the whole movie trying to piece together what happened after the accident, where the hell is her child, and what the fuck is going on, man, and all the complications and horror goodness that follow. Now, I'm gonna be honest here. I liked the movie okay, well enough. I like the movie towards the end of the film more than I do the rest of it. The problem is, it's pretty much a mystery film with not much horror elements until the end of the flick when it actually kind of gets interesting. The problem here is that it's very choppy because the woman who gets into the car accident, the mother, she has convenient amnesia. Basically, she remembers a little bit and then she ends up figuring out another piece of the puzzle. That's a mystery that she has to go in search of. Some horrific thing ends up happening and she finds out another piece of the puzzle and another mystery and has to go searching for that until all the revelations add up to one final reveal, and that's actually when the movie starts getting good. I'm serious. At the end of the movie, I was like, holy shit, this is really fucking awesome. And you have to end now? Really? What the fuck? I was kind of pissed at that because I'm like, oh man, that really opened so many doors to so many creative things. And I'm like, son of a bitch, man. Literally, you strung me along all fucking movie to give me something interesting at the end. And now you decide, fuck it, we're ending this goddamn thing, credits. And I'm like, you some bitch. Hey, god damn it, bastard. I mean, the problem is it's just a very choppy movie altogether, and there's a little bit of stuff here, there's a little bit of stuff there, but for the most part, it's just a mother trying to be in search of her son. And there's this whole thing about this guy who is maybe taking out these people and killing them, but you're not quite sure what's going on, and he's a priest, and you're like, what's happening here exactly? And again, it all makes sense when you get towards the end of the movie, and that's when everything is coming together, and you're like, oh, I get it. I wish that they would have done a better job with this. I wish it would have been a straightforward woman gets into a car accident, her son goes missing, she goes in search of him. That's what I wish it was. Instead of 3 days later, she has amnesia and the mystery of it. You could have done a better, straightforward movie. And I think gotten to the same conclusion, but I think made a more effective movie. I think that could have been done much better here. And look, I'm going to be real. I'm going to spoil it a bit here. I was watching this with subtitles, and I was doing it because there was moments when it was kind of hard to hear some of the characters and I needed to kind of know what the dialogue was. And when this big badass motherfucker ends up coming into the movie, under the subtitles it says Nosferatu. And I was like, okay. So he's Nosferatu. The whole vampire angle comes into it. Now you understand why the priest is killing who he's killing, because technically he's not killing people, he's killing vampires. Yes. Now I won't spoil it completely about what happens to the woman or the child exactly, but I thought that was intriguing. The idea of Nosferatu, the idea that it is vampires, the idea of this priest killing people and the mother being caught in the middle of that. I thought that was really cool. And again, You only really get all those revelations at the end of the movie. All those cool reveals and revelations, really fucking awesome, right? Cool. You could do a lot with that. They only do this shit for the last 5 minutes or 10 of the fucking movie, and that's it. And you're like, damn, dude, you had an interesting idea and you pissed it all away. Fuck, man. That kind of pissed me off, dude. I like the idea that this big ass fucker is Nosferatu and how he's really evil and manipulative and vicious and man just is one hungry motherfucker, dude. And I like that. Very big, imposing. And I like the idea of this woman having to find her child within the midst of that. I thought that was really fucking awesome. Again, it's a really cool idea. And I like that they kind of flip it on its head a bit. But again, you could have done so much more with this had you decided to drop the whole, like, well, I have amnesia and I can't remember things. And I was like, oh man, dude. Like, we had this whole fucking movie of this whole mystery with amnesia thing, and you could have done so much better with this movie than just done that shit. I like the ideas towards the end. They just didn't do anything with it. And that was kind of a tragedy to me. It was a goddamn shame. I mean, I like Nosferatu. I like the idea of Nosferatu. I mean, all the way back to that 1920 movie. Obviously, that is a really fucking great film. Obviously, the remake from back in the day. I think they're even making another remake with Robert Eggers directing, which I'm definitely looking forward to that. Nosferatu is cool. And you can do some really great things with it. And I thought, my God, man, you have a really great imposing bad guy here. I thought it was unique and interesting. And I'm like, God damn, you had something really fucking cool and you just pissed it away. Damn, that pisses me off, man. I like the ideas behind it. I just wish it was a better movie. It's got moments, but those moments really come at the end. And you just wish there was more. And by the time you do, the movie ends. You know, just when it gets good, you had to end it. Well, better late than never, I suppose. Kind of like this movie. Sacrifices, death, cults. Hell, that's just an average Saturday night. In the long night, yes. So dark and highly creepy. Well, the cover sure looks it, don't it? Ooh. And these gentlemen, they mean business. Oh, indeed they do. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I did it because of Scout Taylor Compton. Oh, man. There is something about Scout Taylor Compton that I really do enjoy, and yeah, she hasn't always had the best roles, and yeah, she had a lot of potential that's been kind of wasted, but I've always tended to like her from time to time. I was like, hey, another one with her? Yeah, I'll give it a go. Now, basically, the movie's about this young couple, Grace, played by Scout Taylor Compton, who has never really known much about her family or her parents, has always been trying to search for them, the whereabouts, who they were. She's got a promising lead. Her and her young boyfriend go to this house to try to meet up with the guy that gave him the tip, and he's not there. Where is he? Well, anybody's guess, I suppose, but they're waiting for him. And at night, they notice that these guys are out in the front of the yard. These really messed up dudes with this helmets on and black robes. And they're like, who the fuck are these people, man? Are they just like rednecks that are, trying to like scare them for the sake of scaring them because, they're city folk? I mean, maybe, but yeah, they're looking a bit sinister, man, and they're not really budging. And then when the terrorizing really happens, they realize that these guys, yeah, they're not playing around. They're serious. And they're looking for a sacrifice. And Grace might be it. Oh, indeed she might be, man. And look, I went into this movie, yeah, kind of a little bit hesitant, but I decided to watch it for the hell of it, man. And a part of me is kind of glad I did. Another part of me is like, it's kind of a waste of a movie because I like the idea of the calls. I like the idea of these people who are stalking this woman and basically wanting her for this certain prophecy sacrifice. And I like the creepiness of it, and I like the effectiveness of it, of just them standing still and just like eerily staring at you. And you don't know what their intentions are. You don't know what they want from you. You just know that they're there and they're not going away. And I've always found that really effective. I like certain cult movies. I mean, the Manson stuff, yes, is really effective too. I really love that shit. But there is some that I've really enjoyed in the past that I thought were pretty damn solid, actually. Ones that actually have gained a lot of, I say, appreciation over the years. And one of them is The Sect. Oh man, do I love this movie, dude. This is a really great flick. Basically, about this prophecy and this woman that's in the middle of it. I really dig this movie, man. I thought it's pretty fucking solid, actually. A great little Italian flick that is pretty goddamn solid, actually. And, by the way, Damon Lee Curtis's sister. No lie, man. Pretty damn good that is. If you ever get a chance to watch that, that is a solid flick, man. But then one that's actually gaining a hell of a lot more appreciation over the years, and rightfully so, because it is just that damn good, and that is The Void. Oh, The Void is so fucking awesome. I actually have the Indiegogo Backers exclusive Blu-ray edition. Yes. I'm damn glad I do. I love this flick, man. And I like the idea of this cult who's trying to open this dimension doorway to another realm. And I just love the gore here. I love the blood, the effects. It feels very much influenced by Carpenter in a big bad way, man. And I think it's one of the better new age horror films in many, many years. So fucking good, man. Really creepy, great atmosphere in there. Dude, and the horror is aces. Love the shit out of this, man. That is a really great movie about a cult that is opening a doorway to hell. So good, man. I mean, there's other ones out there too. Obviously, some really fantastic stuff. But those are just a couple of them. There's a hell of a lot more to dive into. But I like that aspect of it. The cult aspect of it has always really intrigued me. And this is one of the bright spots of the movie. One, unfortunately, there's not many. I mean, yes, the blood and gore at times is good whenever we get it. And yeah, some of the acting is alright. I mean, the boyfriend comes off as a real jerk off. He's just trying to be this macho karate expert. And dude, he is so ineffective, man. But then again, these are called members. Did you really think you were going to pull that Karate Kid shit on him? I mean, come on, dude. Wax on and wax off my ass. But yeah, he kind of goes a little overboard, kind of overdoes it with the acting. Hell, they even have Jeff Fahey here. And I was like, Jeff Fahey, he's going to be in this? And dude, no lie, Jeff Fahey is maybe in it for 5 minutes. And that's being kind. I don't think he's in it for very long, dude. He comes in, he's sort of accusing the young couple of, like, you know, coming in here and messing things up in the home. And then he sees the cult member. He's like, what the fuck is this? And he goes out, and then they mess him up big time. They're like knifing him and shit. And he's like, dude, oh, man. Yeah, well, I guess you tried, Jeff. Not very successfully, but you tried, brother. I do think Scout Taylor Compton is really good here for the most part. She really is going for it. I mean, she is trying her hardest to be a scream queen in a big bad way, man. And there's times where she's in this movie and she's having hallucinatory dreams and people like almost like taking over her body or something. And then she wakes up and she's like, ah, 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 ah. And I'm like, whoa. Whoo! Honey, take a Xanax, please. I'm like, what the fuck, man? You know, she's trying her hardest, but the movie is just kind of mundane. I mean, the cult stuff aside, there's not much to the movie. I mean, it's an interesting idea of her trying to find her parents, and there's a prophecy of her inhabiting this demonic entity and giving rebirth to this demon and how that involves her family, it's kind of complicated. And the movie, the ending of it especially, is kind of dark and twisted, which I kind of appreciate, but it kind of felt like, again, kind of like with On the Third Day, it got interesting towards the end of the movie. Like, the cult stuff is cool, but once you realize what they're trying to do and everything, and once the ending happens, you're like, oh shit, like that would be really cool for like a sequel. But this movie feels like it's kind of like a prequel to the better movie, and you're like, ah, fuck, dude, I didn't really need to see the prequel. Like, fuck, dude. I appreciated some of the moments and the creepy aspects to it, but it kind of felt a little mundane, a little boring. It's not all that exciting, and for the most part, they're just stuck in a house trying to avoid the cult members, and you don't really even get to know the cult members or who they are. And I would have been more interested in like the creepiness of the town, and the town is trying to like get them to be a part of this prophecy and how they're all in on it. That would have been cool. You don't really get that exactly. They're just hooded figures, and that's all they are, and you never really get to see their faces all that much, and it's kind of a goddamn shame, exactly. Yeah. And look, I appreciate Scout Taylor Compton, and I want to say that because I really do, but I really feel bad for her because she is a good actress, don't get me wrong, but I feel the projects that she's gotten have really been to her detriment because, you know, when she was in the Rob Zombie Halloween stuff, I liked her in those movies, don't get me wrong. She was effective in it, but those movies are not all that great. And I think she could have been a really great modern scream queen had she picked the right roles. But unfortunately, she's went down this sort of straight to DVD, Blu-ray garbage, and unfortunately, she's not as effective as she used to be. I think she's really great when given the right role, and she's really trying her hardest in this movie that's not really all that good, but at least she's trying, and I'll give her credit. I mean, she's one of the better things about this movie. It's just a shame. It's got a great idea about cults and prophecies and evil, but I think it just is kind of a little boring and a little abstract with the dreams and the waking nightmares and an overly complicated plot that tries to include the family angle in it, and it just kind of reaching a bit. Yeah, it sucks, but I mean, moments that I like, but overall, kind of a dud. Shame to say it. I like Scout Taylor Compton, and maybe in an alternate reality, she's a really great scream queen, but in this reality, well, she bites the bullet in a big bad way, man. Better luck next time, I suppose. Better luck next time, indeed. And I guess you can say the same for the rest of the horror weirdness here. Walmart. You never disappoint, do you?
Of course. All the good vacations never last, but the bad ones get repeated over and over and frickin' over again. That being said, though, would I rather be a part of Groundhog's Day or this flick? Well, I mean, at least I get to hang with Groundhog. Compared to this film, shit, I'll take what I can get. Oh, you know what? When your relative is frozen in ice for a really long time, make sure they thaw out first before throwing them away. You never know about the expiration date. And you know what? I'd forget about the night too if I was Nosferatu's next snack. And if a cult member ends up asking you if you're a human sacrifice, you say
yes! They never learn. Oh, they never learn indeed, baby. Maybe one day they will, but can't wait for that day to happen. Oh, but the Walmart Indie Love definitely gave us all the goodies that we can definitely handle this week. All the horror love we can handle. Well, the B-movie cheese we can handle. That's more like it, man. Oh, yes. They deliver yet again. Was there seriously any doubt? Oh, there wasn't. Not a doubt in hell, man. Oh, hope you enjoyed all the cheesy goodness. The good, the bad, the Walmart weird. Oh, it's all we're showing off. All that horror love in all its forms. Oh, indeed it is, man. I couldn't wait to dive into it. And it was well worth the dive. Indeed it was. Hope you enjoyed it. But honestly, there is more physical media love to check out with one more location to go to, so how about we do that and scare up more media? All right, everybody, we are at our fourth and final location, and when it comes to physical media love, if you can't handle the beast and all its glory, you need to be shunned from the physical media world. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I definitely think you do, and you know where we're at. We are none other than the Beast. Best Buy. The Beast, baby. Oh, yes, we are back indeed. And it's been an interesting physical media week. Definitely stuff we're showing off, high profile releases. But what exactly will Best Buy have in store? Well, maybe new release love, maybe exclusives, maybe surprises. You never quite know with the Beast these days, but it's always worth diving in and checking it out. I definitely think it is. So how about we go in and give it a go? All right, everybody, we are in at Best Buy under the new releases. Oh, and we definitely have a little bit of new release glory with Scream, the Blu-ray digital for $24.99, the 4K digital for $29.99, a little bit of double feature love with the original Scream and Scream 5. Go back to a little bit of 4K regular Scream love for $19.99. Classics never go out of style, baby. You gotta definitely believe that shit. Amazing. But even more amazing is the fact that we have Steelbook goodness, baby. Wow. Somehow I kind of thought that we weren't going to see it this week. I thought, well, it's probably going to sell out. And honestly, wow, it's not selling out anytime soon, man. They have a lot of copies here. Surprise, surprise, man. Best Buy actually has new release Steelbooks in stock. That shit is fucking astonishing. I'm not gonna lie, man. Wow. Hey, it's cool to see it, man. And it actually looks really cool. I like the Ghostface mask and the bloody knife. That looks really fucking awesome. I just wish the movie was better. I really do, man, because this Steelbook is so fucking cool. But I'm not buying it for a movie that I don't really care for. It's a goddamn shame. And it's interesting because usually at this point I say, well, where does the franchise go next? Where would they possibly take it? Well, we kind of know where they're going to take it, right? They're doing a Scream 6. They're literally going to be filming it very soon. It's coming out the early part of next year. Man, that shit is really quick, dude. That's a huge, fast turnaround, man. And I'm kind of curious to see where they go with it, but I'm not entirely hoping for much either. I mean, I'm just being honest. I just don't really see any way that there's going to be a very great natural progression of the story that really makes sense at this point. I mean, never say never. God knows they've made a lot of movies and franchises that honestly didn't make a lick of sense. Hello, they're still making Fast and Furious movies, man. Come on. So, seriously, if it makes money, why the hell not? And it's kind of nice to see some of the actors coming back. I mean, I know Courtney Cox is coming back for Part 6. There's been rumors of maybe Neve Campbell, Sydney returning. That would be cool. I mean, look, original actors coming back to the franchise is something I definitely dig. So that would be a welcome thing. But you know who's not coming back? Spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Dewey bit the dust. I'm serious, man. He really did. Now, a long time back when I talked about the trailer for Scream 5, I was saying how, look, all of the original trilogy there, Dewey, Gale, Sydney, they've all survived, all 4 of the films. And eventually, somebody's going to have to bite it, right? Somebody's going to have to do it. And, well, they picked the unsuspecting victim of Dewey. And I don't mind that they killed somebody off in the franchise. I think you need to raise the stakes. I think you need to basically say, look, anybody can go at any time. I get it. I understand it. I'm going to miss Dewey like a motherfucker because I love that character so goddamn much, dude. I just didn't like the way he went out. I mean, the death was cool, don't get me wrong. But the person who ended up killing him, when it's revealed who it actually was, I'm like, this person took down Dewey? Seriously? That's bullshit, dude. That's complete and utter nonsense. And that kind of pissed me off, dude. And also, The way he died exactly, I'm like, dude, you know the rules of a horror film, and you're doing the same thing that would get anybody else killed. You know what you're fucking walking into, and you did it anyways. And I'm like, dude, you're smarter than that. That character is really great and knows his shit. Why would he do that? I don't know. It just didn't come off as genuine or right, and even though I'm okay with a character dying, I wish it was done in a better way that actually kind of made sense and was actually kind of heartfelt. It just kind of felt like bullshit, unfortunately. But then again, that's this movie. It just doesn't do anything unique or interesting, and when it tries to, it kind of fails. It's just a damn shame. It honestly really is. And look, I like certain entries in a franchise, the number fives in a franchise, so to speak, right? Because, look at Friday the 13th Part 5. Okay, very maligned, all right? And yes, it's not actually Jason killing people. I know, you're disappointed. So was I the first time I watched it. But I just love the kooky characters. I love the kills. I think it's a pretty wacky sequel, but I think it's kind of a unique one. The Psyche of Tommy, I really love that movie. It's kind of grown on me over the years. I really love that. Of course, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child, which I know a lot of people do not like The Dream Child. They really don't, man. They hate that shit. I actually really dig The Dream Child. Yes, it's not as good as Part 3 or Part 4 or the first movie. I do like the second movie better, too. But I do like the idea of Freddy trying to get inside the child and growing inside of this woman. I like that. I think that's kind of cool, actually. Maybe it could have been executed a little bit better. And unfortunately, the MPAA butchered that movie like a motherfucker. They really did. But with that being said, I still think it's fun. And Robert Englund still kills it, man. I actually kind of think it's the last great Freddy movie. And then the next one after that would probably be Freddy vs. Jason. I mean, I didn't really care for New Nightmare. I mean, it's okay, but it really doesn't feel like part of the franchise. And Freddy's dead, man. God, that movie can go fuck itself. Seriously, I really hate that fucking movie. So for me, Part 5 sort of feels like the end of the Freddy saga in a lot of ways. I mean, I like those Part 5s. I think those Part 5s are really cool. Then again, not everyone hits them out of the park like Phantasm Ravager. Yeah, that's a Part 5 I really fucking hate, dude. I just didn't really like it because it felt way too CGI heavy. The characters felt shortchanged. I really didn't like the story all that much. And yeah, Don Coscarelli kind of helped with it a little bit, but he didn't direct it, and it really feels like it's missing something. It's missing that Don Coscarelli touch, man. I don't know. I just felt that movie's kind of bullshit. For me, it ends at Part 4, but Part 5 is what it is, man. And of course, lest we forget to include a little Halloween love with Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. I mean, I like that movie, don't get me wrong, but that's a weird flick, dude. I mean, basically, like, this hobo is taking care of him the entire year while he's in a fucking coma. He's got this weird mind connection with Jamie. The mask looks like it's basically made out of Nicolas Cage's face. Like, what the fuck? I mean, the deaths are sometimes okay, but not really all that great. The characters are really fucking stupid. I mean, it's not terrible. I've seen worse, but it ain't exactly the best of the franchise either. That one. And of course, I gotta talk about Seed of Chucky, man. The 5th one in the Chucky franchise. Dude, I love all of the Chucky movies. I really do, man. I think the weirdest one, and probably the lesser of them all, probably does have to be Seed, man, for the most part. I mean, the whole thing with his kid and the Glenn or Glenda thing. I mean, I know why they did it. It's kind of an homage to Ed Wood, but it's like, what? You're like, okay, this is kind of interesting. I like the kills, but it's more of a comedic film than it is a horror flick. I mean, they tried to shoehorn the horror in there, not exactly successfully, but at least they tried. Look, I still love Chucky for all of its warts and all. Seed of Chucky ain't exactly the best, but it kind of feels interesting, right? Because the fifth film in a franchise almost feels like they're trying to reach at this point, right? Like they've come up with all of the really great ideas and all the great story, and then they're kind of like, God, how can we keep this going? Oh yeah, this psychic connection, or yeah, Freddy's trying to get into the woman's body to be part of the kid, and oh yeah, Chucky has a kid that doesn't quite know what his gender is. It's like, what? Like fifth films and franchises are weird, man. Sometimes they are really odd, and those are just a few examples, man. There's a lot of really weird stuff out there, man. I mean, what are some fifth films and franchises that you love and ones that you're like kind of really baffled by? It's interesting, I'm not gonna lie, man. It really is. I can't say that this is the best in the Scream franchise because it certainly is not, but it's not the worst horror film either. It's just unimaginative and kind of lazy. And as far as the standard of Scream movies go, it isn't really all that great either. It's just a real goddamn shame, man. It really honestly is. I mean, you get some great features here. Deleted scenes, behind the scenes footage, commentary, which nowadays you rarely see that shit. I mean, good features for a not so great Scream movie. I'm hoping that there's going to be a bounce back for part 6 because I really do want this franchise to get back to the glory days, but I kind of feel like the glory days are way past them too. I love the Ghostface killer. I love the characters. Well, some of the characters. The legacy characters are what I love, but I don't know. It kind of feels like the Scream franchise is long in the tooth, and honestly, this movie didn't help matters either. How long can the Scream franchise go? Well, as long as it's making money, a very long ass time. We'll see what kind of excuses they come up with the killers next. Oh, this'll be good. Well, they still have more of that Hunger Games steelbook goodness. Man, damn, was this really impressive. I mean, $90, but all steelbooks, all 4K, and the beautiful box. 90 is pretty reasonable, dare I say. It looks really fucking cool, man. One of these days, maybe I'll pick it up. But honestly, I'm buying so much media that I'm really strapped for cash, dude. So Katniss Everdeen is going to have to wait, at least for a little while, man. He's going to have to wait. Hell, they even still have a little bit left of the Dexter steelbook love as well. I love Dexter. He'll always be my boy. Well, the demented killing fucked up kind. But I always love it, but they've done Dexter dirty way too many times, bro. Just can't exactly stick that landing, can ya? Not exactly, but hey, even we have some Catwoman Hunted love as well. Not half bad, man. Not half bad indeed. Some really great stuff we're checking out this week. Well, so far. But let's see what else they got. And on the backside, we indeed are seeing more physical media goodness like... My patience definitely paid off. Yes, the 4K digital of the Godfather trilogy for $70. Oh man, I knew eventually they'd have to restock the damn thing. Of course they would. Oh, all of the 4K glory of the Godfather. Oh man. God, again, what else can be really said of the Godfather series? My God, it is literally iconic in every single aspect. It's immensely quotable. The characters are hugely iconic and influential, and Francis Ford Coppola is a rock star when it comes to this series, man. As a filmmaker, he's absolutely amazing. He crafted some of the most iconic films of all time. That's why he's one of my favorite directors of all time. I really love him, man, and this series is absolutely fantastic. I'm still kind of reeling from the fact that I'm literally 10 years behind the Godfather series. Damn, that makes me old as a motherfucker. Jesus Christ. Gotta depress the shit out of me. But seriously, man, if there's anyone I got a trail behind, it's definitely the Godfather. Put it that way, man. Oh, that 4K glory. Look at that. Cool. Comes in sleeves also. Nice. That is pretty sweet packaging, not gonna lie, man. Any fan of the Godfather series might be worth picking up. Just might indeed, man. Not half bad, as is the same thing with the Jack Reacher love. Seriously, 4K Blu-ray digital, the Steelbook goodness for $26.99. I told you guys we were getting a little bit of Reacher Steelbook goodness, and I wasn't lying. Oh, I wasn't indeed. Nice Steelbook. I'm liking the red with him in the background with his fist ready to fight. And don't fuck with Tom Cruise, man. Oh, dude, I really love Jack Reacher. This movie's really good. Honestly, a lot of people kind of shit on this film, but I think it's actually kind of badass, man. And Tom Cruise does a good job as Reacher. Now, I know a lot of people are like, dude, he's not Reacher because he doesn't really fit the actual description of the character from the books, and they just put him in here because he's a movie star, and yeah, people were really upset by that shit. Fair enough, I get it. You want, something that you love to be represented in the right way. Fair enough, I won't fault you. But I think Tom Cruise is pretty good here. Calm, cool, collective, badass when he needs to be, and kick-ass when the action scenes go into high gear. I think it's pretty solid of a flick, man. I like the action sequences. I like the sort of murder mystery plot and the idea of who done it and diving into this deep conspiracy. I think it's pretty damn solid overall. Now, mind you, the sequel is dog shit. Okay, the sequel's really fucking bad, dude. I mean, damn, this series had so much promise, and then the sequel just basically pissed it all away. Man, now mind you, I have not seen the new Amazon Prime series yet, but I've heard only amazing things about that. I've heard it's really fucking cool. The guy playing Reacher is excellent. He definitely fits the description. Yeah, Tom Cruise wanted another franchise. Can't quite say I blame him. I mean, Lord knows he's hogging up all the franchises anyways these days. I mean, come on. He's doing another Top Gun sequel. God knows how many more fucking Mission Impossible movies there's gonna be. He just wanted another one to keep the glory days going, but unfortunately, he didn't quite reach it with The Reacher. But hey, good try. Still, it's a good movie. Might be one of his lesser ones that people aren't really going to remember him for, but honestly, as far as action goes and badassery, it's pretty good, all things considered, man. I mean, you get all the special features from the original Blu-ray, but Steelbook goodness for Reacher. I gotta admit, Tom Cruise has done some amazing movies. Maybe Reacher is not exactly up there in the canon, but honestly, for me, Reacher is one badass motherfucker, and at least for this film, Tom Cruise definitely delivered. There has been a murder and a death on the Nile. The 4K Blu-ray digital for $29.99. Oh, and that's kind of interesting. It's actually slightly different artwork than I was expecting, because the Blu-ray and the DVD are similar, but this actually has different artwork to it on the 4K. Different poses and backgrounds. That's kind of cool, man. Huh. I wasn't expecting different artwork for Death on the Nile, but that's actually pretty cool, man, because the 4K is over here, all right? All the way down on the other end here is the Blu-ray for $24.99. And like I said, look, different artwork, man. Not bad. Who'd have thunk it? Both artworks are actually pretty cool, man. But of course, 4K comes with the slip, though. Why it's all the way over here? Well, I can't really explain why it's all the way over here, guys. But, I guess they wanted to separate them. Your guess is as good as mine. But with that being said, I mean, you do gotta love a good murder mystery, don't ya? You really do. There are some really fantastic ones out there, and there's a whole variety of them. Like 2005's Brick. Ryan Johnson, man. Talk about another one who's really good at those murder mystery plots, man. That's a really great one with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I dig that one so much. That's a really great sort of modern-day neo-noir, which is really fantastic. Of course, you gotta talk about 1954's Dial M for Murder. Hitchcock, dude, he was the fucking master of it. With Grace Kelly, that is such a really fantastic movie, man. I love that. Old school, but so good. Then, of course, you got to include a little comedic love with Clue. Oh, so good. Tim Curry's the best in that. He's so good, man, playing the butler. Oh, I love the multiple endings to it and the crazy wacky stuff in it. And the ending I so love. I'm going to go home and sleep with my wife. Oh, it's too good. Oh my god, that's so great, dude. I love that movie so goddamn much, man. Now, of course, I can't forget about a little more Hitchcock love with Rope, which is a really fantastic movie. I love that. A Simple Favor from, I think, like 2018, which was a really great, interesting murder mystery flick. I really love that. I thought that was actually pretty clever, all things considered, man. But then there's another one, Murder by Death. I think that one's from 1976, somewhere around there. It's actually a murder mystery comedy, not as iconic as Clue, but pretty good. Peter Falk is in it, Peter Sellers, I think even Truman Capote is in it as well. Yeah, man, it's a wild little gem of a flick that I actually really enjoy, man. Not many people really remember that one, but that's really fantastic, dude. There are so many really great and wonderful murder mystery movies out there, man, and all varieties, man. And honestly, add this one to the long list. Yes, maybe it's not as iconic as some of the other ones, and yeah, maybe you can see the twists and turns coming a frickin' mile away, but honestly, as long as you're entertained by it, doesn't that really matter at the end of the day? It really does. And honestly, with Death on the Nile, I was entertained really well, and the characters just intrigued me, and I heard a rumor that they're going to be doing another one. Yes, Kenneth Branagh will be coming back as Hercule Poirot again with that beautiful stash, baby. And I can't wait, dude. I really am dying to see what adaptation he will do next for an Agatha Christie novel. And honestly, whatever Kenneth Branagh does, he always puts his A for effort in everything he does. Even something like this, he definitely does well. Yeah, the movie didn't do great at the box office, but it is something that is definitely well worth diving into. You gotta give it a chance. You gotta dig into Murder on the Orient Express. And once you do that, man, Death on the Nile is the next. Makes for a really great double feature, and honestly, one hell of an entertaining murder mystery flick that, as a fan, I definitely dug. Indeed, I did, man. Not bad this week. They got a hell of a lot of media out. A ton. Hell, they even still have a little bit of that Matrix Resurrection Steely love. Then again, the movie's not that hot, so I can't quite blame them. I mean, seriously. But they've got a lot of really great stuff out. 4K love, Steelbook love, new release love from the past few weeks. Hell, they even have a cart over here with all of more physical media goodies. Oh, of course. I definitely dig it when they're showing the physical media the appreciation it deserves, and they definitely did this week. Not half bad after all. Let's head out. Hell, even Best Buy brought it this week. I mean, seriously, man. I'm pretty impressed. I'm not gonna lie, man. The stores have definitely been doing their due diligence on physical media goodness. And hell, even Steelbook love this week to show off. And, you know, here's the deal, right? The Steelbooks that I want and I'm interested in showing off, they don't have. The ones that I don't care for, they're here. What a conundrum. Oh my god. But hey, at least they have the physical media goodness, the new releases, Steelbook love, and maybe a surprise here and there. Not half bad overall, especially for that physical media goodness, which I always dig. Indeed I do, and I know you do as well. Not half bad overall this week. As a physical media lover, right up my alley. Oh, indeed it is. But how about we head out of here and head home? All right, everybody, that'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video this week, and boy, it turned out to be pretty damn good overall, man. Some physical media love, no matter where we went, and you definitely got to appreciate that. Not half bad, man. Can't say every week is like this, but I have a feeling that physical media is definitely on the upswing in a big, bad way. So let's hope that there's more physical media love to come in the coming weeks. And I think we're just getting started. Oh, I do indeed, man. Hope you enjoyed all the physical media love at the stores. Hope you picked up something good. If you did, definitely let me know. As far as I'm concerned, well, I did pick up something here and something there. Like a little bit of Steelbook love. Perhaps Jack Reacher goodness. Yes, I did. I know what you guys are thinking. Really? Out of all the Steelbooks you get Jack Reacher? Okay, let's be honest, guys. I mean, Jack Reacher is not the best Tom Cruise movie in the world. It's not exactly the most memorable either, but I tend to dig it a lot. I really honestly do. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what? I still really dig the movie. I still think it's a really great action flick. And so I wanted to show it the love. Especially the steelbook looks really sweet, man. It does look pretty cool, all things considered. You think I'm a hero? I am not a hero. And if you're smart, that scares you. Because I have nothing to lose. Oh, cool. A little bit of quoting love. Nice. Jack Reacher himself, baby. Okay, to be fair, look, I do think the first movie is really solid. I do, actually. I think it's pretty goddamn cool. I like Tom Cruise here. I like the action. He's one badass motherfucker. And this could have potentially been a franchise for him that could have spanned many, many movies. I think they just bungled it with that second film. And if that second film would have been really good, intriguing, well done, edge of your seat, I think they could have had a good franchise on their hands. Unfortunately, they bungled up this film. And I think that people who really love the books never, unfortunately, kind of gave Tom Cruise a chance. I understand why. Look, he's not the type that was in the books, and I get it, but I still think this first movie is a really solid film. And I think that even though Tom Cruise is not the ideal choice to play Reacher, I get it, I still think he did a solid job, at least in this film. Lord knows they fucked up on the second film, but we'll always have the first, right? Yeah, we will indeed. So I figured, well, why not upgrade for a movie that I actually do dig? I think it's actually pretty damn good, all things considered. Might not be the most memorable Tom Cruise ever, but he is pretty badass in it. All right, more Steelbook love in the collection. Why the hell not, man? Why the hell not, indeed? But that isn't all that I got, guys, because I also got another great little title in the stores. However, you won't actually get to find out what it is because it's a little bit of the mysterious bag love. Yes, this is a title that I definitely loved when I saw it, and when it got released, I was like, oh man, this is really cool. So I wanted to get it. Yeah, we're living in a world of streaming. Yeah, I have a few streaming platforms that this title is on, but honestly, did you think I wasn't gonna get it? Come on, man. If you love a movie, you gotta own it, and this one I definitely did. So, well, you'll see this title in the near future, in a future pickup video, as well as one more thing I got in the mail. Oh, and this one is long overdue, and that's a little bit of Severin Films love. Yes! Oh, Severin goodies! It's been a while since I've got a little bit of Severin love, and about time to get back into them, don't you think? Especially when it comes to this movie, which, you know, look, I love this particular actor, and I've seen a lot of their movies, but apparently I haven't seen them all, because this one definitely intrigued the living hell out of me, and as a fan of punk music, it's definitely a movie that I wanted to dive into, especially one that I'm gonna have to watch with my girlfriend, because she's never heard of this either, and she's an even bigger fan of punk music than I am. So, this will be well worth diving into. I remember when they were doing the whole Kickstarter campaign for this movie and really getting it out there back into the public consciousness, and now it's finally here through Severin, and oh man, I cannot wait. So I definitely am willing to dive into this title in a big bad way. Long overdue, dare I say. And long overdue for all the physical media love yet again, man. Severin, mystery title love, and the little Reacher goodness. I think I definitely was doing my due diligence on physical media, right? And before I let you guys go, I want to talk about this. So, I showed off just now the Jack Reacher Steelbook, the 4K upgrade Steely, right? And I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking to yourself, well, why did you really have to upgrade for Jack Reacher? I mean, I already had the Blu-ray. Why did I need to do that? And you're not entirely wrong. In fact, I wasn't actually originally going to talk about this, but I kind of feel like I need to because we're at an impasse right now as physical media collectors. And it's not like we haven't been down this road before, but going down it again, are we really willing to pull the trigger? That's an interesting debate. And basically, what I'm talking about is the idea of rebuying everything in 4K again. And all of these titles that we've loved and owned on Blu-ray are finally coming out on 4K, double dipping. Actually, what am I talking about? Sometimes triple dipping, quadruple dipping like a motherfucker. And so this has become a huge debate, right? Vinegar Syndrome announced recently Death Wish 2. And everybody, a lot of people on the forums rolled their eyes. They're like, oh God, Death Wish 2, okay. There's a whole lot of other stuff to be released. Do we really need another edition of Death Wish 2 out there? Okay, fair enough. And of course, we can't forget Scream Factory announcing 4K titles for Dog Soldiers, The Fun House, Cat People as well. And a lot of people are really asking themselves, is it really worth it to upgrade to 4K? I mean, is it really worth all the bother? And of course, paying the prices for some of these titles yet again, where there might not be new special features, not even really new artwork, all things considered, and how much of an upgrade is it really going to be at the end of the day as far as picture quality is concerned to make it worth my top dollar in order to purchase them yet again? And look, I'm not gonna lie to you, right? I think that I've always been somebody that when VHS happened, I bought VHS like in a big bad way. I really did. My mother and father did. It was a revolution for movies and for cinematic collecting, right? The jump from VHS to DVD was pretty goddamn huge, and it was such a big thing where everybody was so amazed. You're like, oh my God, on this disc here, this little disc that has so much information on it, and of course the artwork and the special features, the audio commentaries, the behind the scenes look at the making of the films, and it was such a huge revolutionary idea that even surpassed VHS, and everybody was like going bananas for that stuff. I mean, still to this day, there is so much DVDs that are in the marketplace. You go thrifting, you end up going to various outlets. I mean, still to this day, DVD is the top seller among physical media discs every single week. It trumps Blu-ray, it trumps 4K. Why does it do it? Because yes, it's the cheaper option, but also because I think it's one of the options that is still one where the most movies, I think, are still on that particular format. We're not really collecting anymore for VHS. I mean, unless you're a vintage collector, you like that stuff, but there's not many new releases that are coming out anymore through that particular platform. It's DVD now that is still the old format that is still keeping going to this day. And rightfully so, I'd imagine. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that their collection is solely based on DVD. That's the one that they collected the most for, and in some ways, that's the one that they feel the most loyal towards. And I can't quite say I blame them. But after DVD, right, we were all comfortable with DVD, and then comes Blu-ray. And Blu-ray changed the game. Maybe not as much as DVD, I would argue, but they changed it in a big bad way. And the picture quality and the sound quality and how much more information you could pack on a disc was just so much more than you had ever imagined. And people really felt that the quality and everything was justified enough to do an upgrade. And even though more titles have been released on DVD than on Blu-ray, I think people, yes, at first was hesitant about Blu-ray, especially after the whole HD, DVD, and Blu-ray war, but I think they eventually settled into Blu-ray and really felt that it was a format that was well worth upgrading towards. So if you're one of those people that ended up going from VHS to DVD to Blu-ray, you might have upgraded at this point 2, maybe 3 times. And not only was there so many titles that got released on Blu-ray, but there were so many titles that got so many other editions on Blu-ray. There are certain movies that on Blu-ray alone have literally had, God, I would say like 4, 5, 6 different editions. Some titles have the more popular ones, and it is insane how much has been in the marketplace and how much you've had to rebuy just on Blu-ray alone. So here comes 4K, and you know, a lot of people like myself have been very hesitant on 4K. Now, I'm not saying that I haven't outright bought certain things in 4K. A lot of the new Marvel movies I have in 4K. There is certain titles that I've upgraded through 4K because I felt that it was worth it. I've read the reviews, new special features. I felt that there was a reason for me to want to upgrade. But I can't say that it's always worth it. And I feel like we're pushing and we're shoving people into 4K needlessly. I'm not saying that it isn't worth it, but I'm saying that we're being force fed it, and in some ways, that's not the right way to go about this. I mean, I have seen so many YouTubers out there, physical media YouTubers, who are pushing the format in a big bad way. And in some ways, I agree with them. But they're also not exactly 100% telling you the truth either. I mean, I saw one person who was literally like, well, you don't have to upgrade to 4K, but then they go into all of your reasons why you have to upgrade to 4K. And I'm like thinking to myself, dude, you're a fucking hypocrite. Like, seriously, man. I mean, come on, dude. Look, at the end of the day, I'm going to be real with you. Not every movie deserves a 4K, nor does every movie need a 4K edition. I'm just going to be real here, honestly. I mean, as much as I feel the newer movies benefit from 4K, and some of the older movies, if done right, will look amazing in 4K, but not always. I remember when John Carpenter's Halloween came out, right? It came out on 4K, and everybody was like, oh my god, I'm going to buy this, it's 4K. And I said I wasn't going to buy it. And a lot of people on the channel who commented, people that I know, were like, I can't believe you're not buying Halloween in 4K. And I said, I guarantee you it's not going to look good. They're just putting it out in 4K because it's a popular title and because they know it's going to sell. And lo and behold, what happened? Everybody bought the disc, and then they said, oh my god, the picture quality is not good, it's terrible, it's not right here, and the colors are wrong. And I'm like, yeah, I told you. And unfortunately, you had to find out for yourself. And it's the same thing with Evil Dead on 4K. It just didn't look good, and there's a lot of ones that are. Unfortunately, it's the same concept with Blu-ray, right? Unless a company really invests the time and the effort into restoring the picture in the right way and getting the right people who are going to oversee that transfer, then they're just putting out the disc for the sake of putting out a disc. They don't really give a damn, right? They're just there to exploit the title for your money even more. And I think right now we're trying desperately to figure out what's worth it and what's not at the end of the day. I mean, yes, that Halloween 4K was not good, but the Scream Factory Halloween 4K is amazing. So it depends on the studio that's going to do the title. It depends on how much effort they're putting into it and whether it's going to be worth your hard-earned money to reinvest in that title yet again, man. I mean, you have to understand, as collectors, we want the best editions possible, but I think there's a lot of people now that are really starting to, I don't want to say change their tune exactly, but I think we as physical media collectors, we need to know that our money is going to something worthwhile, that's going to be worth the time and effort and the money to want to buy these again. I mean, think about it. if you really break this down, there is a lot of these titles that unfortunately are just being put out ad nauseum over and over and over again just to make an extra buck. And if you don't already have the title, then it's a good thing, right? Because I don't have the Funhouse. I don't have, Cat People. And so that intrigues me, right? Because I don't have it. And I'm not willing to pay the eBay prices for the limited edition slip covers and everything, and it's out of print, and then trying to get a good slip cover that isn't already damaged is just a real pain in the fucking ass, dude. And so, yes, we want the best quality. Yes, we don't want to pay the eBay prices, but at the same time, look, these prices for these editions are rising. Okay, it's not like they're going down in cost. They are rising in a big bad way, and you have to understand that for a lot of these companies, having to, put more special features and artwork and, making the disc into another format, it all costs money, and that money is rising, and they're adding that to the consumer. And so it becomes more evident that I think a lot of collectors, myself as part of that, is we just feel like at this point we've upgraded so much. Do we really need to upgrade again? And on top of that, a lot of these titles that are coming out nowadays, yes, you can dress them up with a fancy slipcover. Yes, you can put cool artwork on them, but are they worth it at the end of the day? Look, I'm going to give you an example, for instance, right? I love Vinegar Syndrome. Love them to death, man. Love Vincent. They released Tammy and the T-Rex on both 4K and Blu-ray. I picked up the Blu-ray. I didn't pick up the 4K. And when I did, I heard from a lot of people where they were like, why didn't you get the 4K? If the 4K is available, why didn't you just pick up the 4K instead of getting the Blu-ray? And I'm like, it's Tammy and the T-Rex. Like, it doesn't need a 4K, man. I mean, seriously, it just doesn't need it. And so we're just needlessly putting something out on 4K that doesn't need to be put out. If it's on Blu-ray, it's fine. I've recently pre-ordered certain stuff from Arrow where there was a Blu-ray option and a 4K option, and I did the Blu-ray option. You guys are probably gonna think I'm nuts. You guys are like, well, I don't get it. If there's the 4K option, wouldn't you get the 4K? Because that just makes sense. You want the higher quality. But not every movie necessarily needs a 4K. And so a lot of these companies are just putting out 4Ks for the sake of putting them out. I'm not saying that they're not doing a good job with them. I'm just saying that to make an extra buck or two, they figure if we can also put it out on 4K, why the hell not? Look, for me, I'm not going to lie. 4K is a great format when done right. But as a physical media collector, as somebody who really loves the Blu-ray format, for instance, that's pretty much where I stop. It's not that I'm not gonna at some point continue to collect 4K. Like I said, Jack Reacher. Like I said, I upgraded this to 4K. Did I need it in 4K? No, but I really like the steelbook. I think it looked nice. They put a lot of effort into it, so I went ahead and did it. I got Silence of the Lambs on 4K. Yes, I have the Blu-ray, but I really love the movie. Why the hell not? So there is instances where I'm going to take the 4K and run with it. But a lot of times, I'm just not going to do it. And trying to be force-fed into 4K, I don't think is the right way to do it either. And I also don't think that the upgrade is always all that worth it. Somebody was saying about, 4K is more colors and it's more vibrant and it's the way the picture was always meant to be seen. And I'm like, sometimes, yes, I'll completely agree with you. But other times, no. And honestly, there's certain movies like an Evil Dead or a Texas Chainsaw Massacre where, honestly, I'm happy with the DVD sometimes or the Blu-ray. I don't always need the 4K edition of it. I think some of those movies benefit from that grindhouse feel where you almost feel like it's It's like it's grimy and it's dirty, and those movies are really effective. When you clean it up too much, when it looks too clean and too pristine, it doesn't have that same feel to it that you remember watching it from back in the day. And honestly, the upgrade from Blu-ray to 4K is not as big of a jump as you might think it is. It really isn't at the end of the day. I mean, the jump from VHS to DVD was huge. The jump from DVD to Blu-ray was really significant. And I think that the jump from Blu-ray to 4K is decent, but it's not phenomenal. And I feel like we're just overhyping this stuff for the sake of overhyping it because of physical media collectors and more money out there in the market, and hey, a new format out there, why not go for it? I'm not saying that 4K isn't worth it at times. It will be. But you need to be picky and choosy about your purchases. Look, at the end of the day, I have bought so many editions of certain movies. At some point, you're either going to have to stop, or you're just going to keep on collecting over and over and over and over again, and it's just a never-ending fucking cycle, man. And so, I always hear these people on these YouTube channels where they're like, well, I can't wait for this movie to get a 4K, and I'm not going to buy the Blu-ray until I get the 4K edition. And I'm like, are you fucking stupid? Seriously, if the Blu-ray is fine, if it's good enough as it is, why aren't you picking it up? Why? And I just don't understand it, man. I mean, there will be times, like I said, for me, where I will invest in it. But it has to be special enough for me to want to do it. Like, when I picked up that Roger Rabbit steelbook. That's Roger Rabbit. It's a beloved movie. I love that movie. But I didn't get the standard 4K edition. I got the Steelbook edition. So for me, I felt that because it was Steelbook, it felt a little bit better of a purchase to me. Where it felt like, okay, this is a little bit more special than just a standard 4K edition, and I can go with that a little bit more, and I can spend my hard-earned money. Look, at the end of the day, as a collector, God knows how much money I've put to the collection. It is beyond thousands of dollars. I mean, would it be wrong to say maybe 10,000? I mean, if you were to say to me over the course of my collecting life that I've spent close to $10,000 on movies, I would probably say you're not wrong. Okay? I mean, at a certain point, you have to ask yourself, how far are you willing to go and how far are you willing to take this? Because at a certain point, you have to know when to stop. Okay, well, Screen Factory puts out a 4K and Arrow puts out a 4K, and I'm going to get both of the 4Ks, and I've already have 3 other Blu-ray editions of this movie, and I'm going to get all these editions as well. And I'm thinking to myself, come on, when is this going to end, man? I love collectors and I love collecting. I love the collector mentality, but at some point, it does go overboard, and we need to keep ourselves in check, okay? Like I said, I'm not gonna not buy 4K, but I'm also gonna be very hesitant about where I take my money when it comes to the format. You know, look, I've spent so much money back in the day on VHS. And Lord knows that shit wasn't cheap back in the day, guys, okay? Trust me, that was not cheap at all, dude. Sometimes damn near $100 for a VHS. And that ain't no lie, okay? I spent so much money on DVD, man. I used to work at Media Play, and I had a discount at Media Play, and when DVDs were coming in, I bought like 5 to 10 titles per week. And I'm not even fucking lying to you, man. And so at some point I had like 5,000 DVDs, man. It was massive. And at a certain point, I asked myself, because once I was getting into Blu-ray, I was looking at my DVDs and I'm saying, dude, how many of these do I actually like? How many of these are I'm going to watch again and again and again? And I was starting to pare things down. I was starting to get rid of certain editions. And yes, I was rebuying some of those editions on Blu-ray and got rid of the DVDs. And now to go back and do it all over again in 4K, that's a tall task to do. And I kind of feel like a lot of these collectors nowadays, maybe they lived through the VHS and DVD booms. Maybe they have. Maybe they haven't. I don't know. But I have. I've lived through all of it so far. And I've seen the ups, I've seen the downs, and I can't invest in every single title in my collection moving it over to 4K. I just can't do it, dude. I can't justify it. There are some titles where I will be able to justify it because, oh, it's a cool steelbook. Or, oh, it's a cool edition that has a ton of more special features on there that's unique and I can justify the price. But there's a lot of titles out there that I just can't do it, man. I mean, I love American Werewolf in London. There's a 4K edition that came out. I have the Blu-ray edition. I'm fine with it. Oh, The Thing has a 4K edition out there. I have the Blu-ray. I'm fine with it. Look, you have to at some point have a limitation. You have to at some point understand that, yes, there's a lot of great editions out there, but sometimes you just have to say no. And holding back as a collector, that is not an easy task to do. That is a huge tall order, man. And some people can't do it. You look at an artwork, you look at an edition, and everybody is buying it, and you just feel kind of like, well, everybody else is buying it, so I have to buy it. And so you get that pressure going. I mean, dude, it just is a never-ending cycle. And at a certain point, we're either going to break the cycle or we're not. Look, I'm a collector through and through, and I'm going to continue to be a collector. But I also have to be smart with my money. I have to be smart with my choices. And I can't just continue to buy things willy-nilly because it's a new edition and it's on 4K. Do your due diligence. Look at reviews and, compare and contrast and see what's right for you. If you want to go through and re-up all your collection on 4K, go ahead, have at it, man. But when's the next format gonna come? I mean, when are we gonna get 8K? Because that's coming at some point. That's bound to happen. And then that happens, and then everything that's on 4K is getting released on 8K, and suddenly you're rebuying The Terminator again, and you're rebuying American Werewolf in London, and Titanic, and Wizard of Oz, and you're like, at a certain point, you need to be reasonable. And as collectors, we love having these editions in our hand. We love holding them and showing them off, and it's well worth it. I love my collection. I love it. But at a certain point, even I have to say enough is enough. And when will that happen? Well, who the hell knows? There's so many great editions of movies out there, and there's movies out there that have never even gotten physical media releases that still need to get them to this day. The 4K format has so much potential to it, and right now all I'm seeing is a lot of these titles that are the same ones that we've seen over and over again. I get it, but at a certain point, I just can't anymore, guys. I can't. I mean, I'm curious as to what you think about this. It's an interesting topic. I love talking about it, and I will collect 4K at times. But for me, there's got to be a justification as to why I'm doing it. I just can't re-up for the sake of re-upping anymore. I just can't do it. I've done it so many more times with so many titles that at a certain point, I've got to look at my collection in a great way. I can't just buy for the sake of buying it anymore. It's cool to do it, but at a certain point, you're just buying the same stuff ad nauseum, and I already have a great edition of it. I'm going to keep that edition. I don't necessarily need the latest or the greatest. Kind of curious what you think about that, guys. Maybe I'm in the minority. Maybe I'm the schmuck in this, okay? Maybe I am, but if I'm in the minority, at least on this one, I'm okay with that. Let me know what you guys think about that. And hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely give it the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD out and about videos that I do. Movie reviews with my friends. Blu-ray pickup videos, live streams, movie hunting, you name it. It's all on the channel. All the old school videos. You can definitely check all that out. And if you like how I talk about movies and physical media, definitely hit subscribe and become a part of the Film Fan Nation. I want to thank my wonderful subscribers out there. You guys are amazing and awesome. And yeah, sometimes I'm late with videos. I'm a couple weeks late. And you guys are okay with that. You've been very supportive of me and understanding, and life gets in the way sometimes, but I'm still here. I'm still doing it for you guys, and you've supported me all the way through, and I can't thank you enough. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Truly, you showed love to me. Hopefully, I showed love right back to you. Thank you beyond words, man. And keep up to date with everything I'm doing through Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. FilmFan108, keep up to date with everything I'm doing, plus special pictures and videos I do from time to time on social media as well. And if you want to send the channel any movie-related goodness, movie posters, care packages, physical media, you name it, you can do it. It is not expected, but it is definitely appreciated. If you would like to, the P.O. box is in the description below. You guys have said, hey man, we'd like to send you some really great stuff. Where can we do it? Well, the P.O. box is the place to be. So if you would like to, I definitely can't wait where the P.O. box adventures take me next. Looking forward to what you guys send me. It's always been good, and I can't wait to see where it goes next. So hopefully we'll see where that lands me. But in the meantime, the video is over. It's done. It's been a great ride this week, and let's hope next week is even sweeter. Let's hope indeed, guys. But until then, I will see you next week with a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video. Take care, everybody, and remember, happy hunting.